Hello, 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 hello. Wherever you are located on this delightful planet called Earth, I hope you are having a scrumptious day, evening, or night, wherever you're located. Today, I'm going to cover a topic that has to do with animation. Now, if you are a beginner in Blender, you probably not use what I want to show you, but it will help you if you have it. I'm going to be dealing with multiple cameras. And you may ask, where does multiple cameras come into play? Because we already got one camera in Blender, but that one camera can only do so much. You know, if you become, or if your modeling skills or creation skills even just get to, if you've been using Blender for at least several months, you know how to model basic things. It's good to know how to manipulate multiple camera to give your scene an enriching, engaging presentation when you decide to animate it or whatever you want to do with it. In Hollywood, as you know, the simplest movie, a simplest film, there is not no one camera there. One camera will make the scene dull. That's why it's good to have multiple cameras. So let's begin and dive right into this exercise. As you can clearly see, I have 3 cameras. Camera 1, camera 2, and camera 3. Now before I go on, I said this is the way I like to name things with the actual name. Camera, plane, cube. Then I give it a name because it makes it so easy for me to find my artifacts. So that made a good strategy with you. If you have a plane, call it whatever plane. Then you can easily find it because you know it was a plane before. So I have my 3 cameras. As you see, each of my camera is pointing to a particular object. Let me see. Camera 3 is pointing to a plane. Camera 2 is pointing to a cube, and camera 3 is pointing to my sphere. So when we dive in, we have to move up to the animation start scene and display the timeline. Because everything that we're going to deal with today will involve the timeline. Now, let me get into the camera first. Let me zoom into this camera. If you see this camera right here, you notice it has a empty triangle. The empty triangle means that particular camera is not the dominant camera. I'm going to give you an example of where the dominant camera is located. I'm going to hit my tilde key, go to view from camera, and whatever camera that is, camera 1 is the dominant camera. And you may ask, how do I know it's dominant? It's the dominant camera because once I highlight it, you see that triangle is shaded in or the area is filled in. So whatever camera is the main camera or the dominant camera, let me go back again, tilde, whatever camera has that shaded in triangle, that's the one that's in charge. But as you know, we want to learn how to make other cameras the dominant cameras, not just with the timeline. I'm going to show you some techniques right now. If I click on camera number 1, I'm clicking on camera 1. I'm going to hit my the period so I can go back to camera 1. To make camera 1 the camera focus, I have to click on Control and 0 on the number pad. If you're on a laptop like I am, don't hit the control above the don't hit the 0 above the P and the O. You have to hit the 0 on your keypad, or the number pad. So I hit Control 0. Now we see it's showing that sphere. Let me get out of it. You see, and that's camera 1 on my outliner. So that's how we make our cameras the dominant one. I'm just going to do one more before I go on. Camera 3. Let me put camera 3 was important to. Now I'm going to go to camera 2. I want to put on a different object. Hit the dot. That's my camera 2. To make it dominant, I hit Control 0. Now, as you see, it's pointing right to my cube, and camera 2 has that shaded in triangle. Okay, so that's good. You got that out the way. Now you know how to make it dominant. Now when you have several cameras, now you know how to view through each one of them while you're looking through the viewport. Let's go down here to the timeline. Which camera do I want to choose first? Let me see. I want to go back out of this. Let me start my animation because that gave me the clue. What's that? Alright, so the cube. I'm the plane. So I'm going to choose that particular camera, which is camera 3. So let me start with the animation over again. I have camera 3 selected on the timeline. It's many ways of doing it in Blender. If you want to do it from the shortcut keys, you just hit M. You hit an M as in mouse. Or I can go to View, or I can go to Marker, and choose Add Marker. So let me delete this. Marker, delete. Yes, now it's gone. So I'm going to go to Marker, and you see right beside the word marker to the far right, it has the M, the shortcut key. I added a marker. But you say, that looks ugly. Look right here where my mouse at. That's not a descriptive name. F_01. So I like to give my markers a name. So let's go back to marker. Let's choose rename the marker. And I'm going to call this marker camera 3. Hit enter. Hit OK. Now it's called camera 3. But for some reason, even though it seemed like that's by hitting the M key or the marker, it should connect it to the camera. But it's not. It's just a placeholder for some reason. A placeholder. So we have to go to View. Or is it let me see, marker. We have to go back to marker and choose bind camera to markers, or the shortcut key is Control B. Go to marker, bind camera to markers, and the camera is bound to that placeholder. That, if you look down, you will see a small camera appear on my screen. I don't feel like zooming in because I don't feel like going through all that. But it's a small camera on the binder to say the camera now is valued there. Alright, so let me scrub my timeline so I can do my next camera. It's based on which object is moving. Oh, I know, because it's bound to that camera. I'm just going to start the animation from scratch and see what happened. Alright, so that's my... Go right back here. Now I'm going to choose camera number 1. Hit M as in mouse, or you go to marker and you choose add marker. But for me, I'm just going to hit the M. I want to give it a descriptive name. So I go back to marker. I choose rename the marker. And I want to call this one camera 1. C-A-M-E-R-A. I should have put the numbers there, but instead of the words, but it don't matter. Alright. Let me see if there's. Let me no. Oh, but it's not. See, they got the marker or the bounding point, the placeholder, but now we have to go to marker and choose Control B, or you choose bind camera to the marker. Zap, it's bound there. Let me do my animation to see which one I'm gonna choose next. The last camera. The cube. So I'll back up. Yeah, right there. So it's the cube. And the cube is camera 2. So I can hit M. I want to give it a good name. Marker. Rename. Or for name, you just can Control M for that. For the shortcut. But it don't hurt to choose the menu. Well, I'm gonna do Control M. Let's see if it works. Control M. Okay, it worked. So I'll call this camera. I'll put the number 2 like I want to do it. 2. Okay. Alright. That's the bounding. That's the marker, but it's not bounded there. So we can hit Control B for the shortcut. Control B. And I like that. Control B, because B is for the word bind. Control B is there. It's bound. Now, let's go to my animation. Before we watch it, let's see if these cameras switch. We're going to see if they start switching. Then I'm going to watch it through the camera's view. So all we're going to do now is see if the cameras, if it just rotate. Here we go. Let's start it. Yes. Now, even though camera 2 is highlighted, what we really have to watch for is, let me zoom in a little bit. You have to watch the black marker. Is that black marker moving? So I'm going to deselect this camera. Is the black, I'm going to click on the shape. Is the black marker moving? And it is jumping from camera to camera. Let me do it again. Start the animation. Here's the black marker. Here's the black marker. And here's the black marker. Now let's watch it through the eyes of the camera. I'm going to hit stop. Go back. I'm going to view it through the eyes of each camera. View camera. Here we go. Let's see what happened. So it's working. Now, imagine that you have a sophisticated and rigged up animation. Now you have the ability to switch and to use multiple cameras in your particular scene. On most of our 3D modeling videos, we just use simple shapes. But I could have used something more elaborate. But these simple shapes illustrate how to let the cameras jump from object to object. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any comment, or you can correct me on something that I did wrong, I'm only human. Correct me. Leave a comment. If you'd like to subscribe for further future content, please subscribe to the channel. Until the next time, wonderful listener, peace.